I would like to start by having a little quiz. You cannot win something, sorry. Let me start by asking, what do you think is the biggest threat to your physical health? Is it A, smoking, B, obesity, or C, loneliness? Who here thinks it's smoking? Raise your hand. Who here thinks it's obesity? Who here thinks it's loneliness? Oh, okay, interesting. Someone read the title of my presentation. So yeah, the answer is actually loneliness. In a long-term health study where they followed people throughout their lives, they found that loneliness significantly increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. So not only does loneliness have an impact on our emotional well-being, it actually has real physical consequences. And unless you're like a super heavy smoker or very obese, you're more likely to die from loneliness than any of these other factors. I was really surprised and concerned when I first heard about this. And I'm asked myself, as a designer and tech enthusiast, what can we do to bring people together through technology? Today, I would like to take you on a little journey and explore ways to fight loneliness. And this is more relevant than ever, because loneliness is actually on the rise. In a worldwide study, they found that as many as 1 out of 3 people report that they often feel lonely. And the most affected group were young adults under the age of 25. But how is this possible? We are nowadays more connected than ever, or not? We are constantly sharing our lives through social media and following what other people are up to. Half of young people say they spend 4 or more hours per day just on social media. And I'm also not excluded. I also find myself following people I don't even know. And I know so much about their lives. And this is just social media. We are also, every one of us, is sending 65 billion messages every single day via WhatsApp. So we are constantly communicating with each other, and almost everyone we meet is just one message away. And not only can we easily talk to each other, we can even be in the same virtual room, no matter where we are. Through technologies like Facebook's metaverse, we can be in our living room, but meet thousands of people from all over the world. At its peak, Metaverse had 400 million active users. Obviously, you all know it wasn't a great success, but many people believed this is the future we're heading towards. So, I asked myself, what's the missing piece? Why are we feeling lonelier than ever, even though we're so well connected and we have so many possibilities to stay in touch with people? I believe the problem is we are not using technology in the right way. Through all of these virtual connection and experiences we can have, there are also less and less incentives to meet up in person. And this will only worsen the situation and increase the feeling of loneliness and isolation. So as product owners, designers, developers, what can we do about it? Well, one very obvious answer would be, technology is not serving us. Let's go on a digital detox. Let's be more mindful, spend less time with technology, and spend more time with our friends and family. Of course, this would be the ideal solution and a great coping strategy. But we all know how difficult it is. Technology is such an integral part of our day-to-day lives. And as a tech enthusiast myself, I couldn't imagine just letting go of something I enjoy so much. Instead, I'm here today to propose an alternative. Let's embrace new technologies and use it to bring people together in person. not just virtually. Let's create an alternative that is just as attractive as spending time online by yourself. How to do this was one of the main topics I researched during my master thesis. And I found some following principles that could help us achieve this goal. The first one focuses on enabling spontaneous encounters. A good example of this is actually the game Pokemon Go. Who of you here remembers Pokemon Go? Raise your hand. Okay. Did anyone here play it? Oh yeah, actually quite a lot of people. So, yeah, Pokemon Go was a huge hit when it released. Millions of people were playing this AR game, going outside and trying to catch these rare Pokemons with their phones. This picture was taken during the height of the craze, but I was actually surprised to find out that still quite a lot of people are playing it nowadays. And one genius feature they introduced was that you could battle other players that you encounter in the real world. So imagine you're waiting for the bus, kind of bored, and you're playing this Pokemon Go on your phone all by yourself. And then suddenly you receive a notification. Hey, there's another player nearby. You look around and there's this other person also playing the same game as you. And you could then challenge them to a little game and have the social interaction with each other. I think this is a great way to meet other people that have similar interests in you and share the same hobby. And this worked incredibly well. More than a third of Pokemon Go players said that they met new friends through this game. And not only friends. Some even got married. Very romantic with these two Pikachus. As you can see, this one was not just another gimmicky feature, but it really brought people together. And some even found love. But beyond meeting new people, we also need to make sure that we encourage offline communication, not just online. In order to make a personal connection with someone, eye contact and body language are important parts of a seamless communication. If you communicate just via text or online, these parts go missing. I don't know if it ever happened to you, it definitely has happened to me, that I've met a colleague that I've only seen online before, and I meet them for the first time in person, and I'm kind of surprised, and they seem kind of different than what I imagined. This is because meeting each other in person and communicating offline are important parts of getting like this whole picture of this person. But how do you get people to communicate if they have trouble socializing? This was one of the key questions that I tackled on during my master thesis. Our goal was to get two children to play together, one with autism and one without. As you might know, children with autism, and just generally also adults with autism, struggle with forming social connections, and they often have troubles communicating properly. So in order to motivate them, I designed a game with little challenges where the two children had really to work together and talk and cooperate to solve them. My favorite challenge was where there was this magical stone guarded by a hungry penguin, and they had to grab the stone. So in order to catch the stone, one of the children had to go catch a fish and distract the hungry penguin. So while the penguin was being lured away, the other child could sneak behind the penguin and grab the stone. And the best part was that the game was not like a full immersion. It wasn't like a VR headset, but the two children were really able to see each other and talk to each other while playing. And they could even point and use their body to share this experience. And during the course of the game, you could really see how the children were warming up to each other and communicating more and more directly. So with games like these, we can encourage people to talk to each other. Now the question is, how can we enhance in-person experiences and give us a reason to meet up? One approach is to take an activity that you already enjoy doing with your friends like a board game night, and make it even more exciting through the use of technology. I was super excited to find out there's already an AR board game in development where you can really see the game come to life on your own table in the living room. So instead of just playing cards, these cards could turn into magical creatures and castles and everything you can imagine. And things like these are just the beginning. With new technologies like the Apple Vision Pro, we can imagine like 10 times better visuals and on 10 times bigger scale. Imagine being in your living room together with your friends and being transported into this magical, fantastical world together and having this shared experience and being in awe of what technology is capable of. You could go into space or explore like a rainforest, whatever you can imagine. And the best part is, if you get tired of playing a game or having these virtual experiences, you can just take a break, go grab a snack, and you still have this social interaction. Well, if you're playing an online game, for example, usually if you play the game and the game ends, the social interaction ends. But with these real-life interactions, you're just always together and having this shared experience from beginning to end. So, to come back to my initial question, what can we as product owners, designers, developers do to bring people together through the use of technology? And how can we fight this rising loneliness? We learned that by enabling spontaneous encounters, we can help meet new people and maybe even meet your Pokemon soulmate. By encouraging offline communication, we can help people to open up and socialize with each other. By enhancing in-person experiences, we can spend time together with our loved ones and be on this incredible magical journey together and have experiences that will have a lasting impact on us. And if you look closely, you might notice something. All of these three principles actually support the key aspects of friendship. Because what do you need to make friends? Well, you first need to meet each other. Secondly, you need to talk to each other and have a good conversation. And finally, to solidify the friendship, you need to spend time together and have shared experiences. So by following these principles, we are contributing to the most important factors in forming friendships. So the next time you design or develop a new digital product, I urge you, think about how might we use technology to design for more genuine in-person experiences. Thank you.